Downtown Indiana and online at sapinka.com.
7:46, it's Indiana in the Morning. Bob Pollock for his Friday visit. Bob is on the phone this morning. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Chuck.
Where are you at?
I'm actually down in Winchester, Virginia.
Ah, home of the Apple Blossom Festival.
Yeah, that's true. And that's actually well, I'm not here for the Apple Blossom Festival, obviously, but there's a fruit workers conference that happens every year, and they usually schedule it around this area, and they bring in people from 10 or 11 states to this meeting, and a lot of it is all based around research that's going on within the tree fruit industry in the mid-Atlantic and northeast region of the country. So we've got lots of researchers here and giving reports, updated reports on what they're researching and what the results of those efforts are and how then they relate to people that are in the business to produce fruit so that we can have good, healthy fruit on our tables every day.
You know, we talk a lot about the Christmas tree industry here in Indiana County, but how about the fruit growers? Are there a lot of those located locally?
They're scattered around the county. We don't have any large producers, but we have a number of people that produce, primarily for the retail market, which is a good thing. So we can buy local as much as possible when we choose to do that. But we've got to get down to Adams County, down in that southeast part of the state. That's where the real concentration of fruit production is within Pennsylvania. But then it's scattered throughout the state as well. And then probably this Erie would be another key area. Now, grapes would be the big thing up there. And then we've got some pockets, like down in Bedford County and a couple other places within the state where the fruit production is.
Would apples be Indiana County's number one fruit?
No, vegetables would. There's more vegetables produced in Indiana County than there are tree fruits.
Right, but of the fruits that are produced, are apples usually the number one?
Yeah, apples. Yeah, apples would be the number one, and then you'd go from there. With just a smattering of peaches and plums and.
With this being the holiday season, Bob, I had a couple of topics I thought we could talk about.
Well, that sounds good. What are those?
Number one being mistletoe. Oh. What can you tell us about mistletoe?
Well, we don't usually grow that around here.
Okay, well, okay. Isn't that more over in the European countries?
Yeah, and then I think in like Texas, and some of those southern areas, I believe that you can find it on trees and things there. So we don't have an ample supply of that around here to work with, that's for sure.
Yeah, my notes say
we would have to import that in.
That you need a suitable host species for it to grow on.
Yes.
So
it's kind of a because it'll grow along. I think it actually gets its. I forget now. I don't study that very often.
Next week you can answer that question.
Yeah, we can follow up on that.
And of course,
I can't remember whether it just lives on another plant or whether it needs that other plant in order for it to, actually feed off, say, a tree, for example, where it would be attached to that and then get energy from that. And then there's other plants that just will use that other plant as a home to attach to, but they get the energy that they need from the sunlight and the air.
Now, my second topic was going to be Christmas holly, which, of course,
well, and we have a number of species of holly that grow around here naturally. And most of them are grown as ornamental plants, and then once you establish those in your garden, and they get to ample size, we can usually take cuttings off of those and cut branches and stems off of those that then we can use in arrangements. And
I'm told that holly berries are an important food for birds, but for human, they could be very bad.
Yeah, some of those are not. We are not able or should not eat those. But usually, and mostly, they're red in color. Although there are some cultivars that have some different color berries on them. But of course, that adds to the value of that. If it does have berries on it, usually that branch is going to be more valuable in an arrangement or a display, just because you've got that extra color in there and not just the green background. And we've got a number of hollies that have different leaf shapes as well and sizes. Mm-hmm. So there's hollies with very small, petite leaves, and then there's others which are larger, like American holly would be an example of that, larger and pointier, actually jaggy leaves on there. So you have different hollies to pick from and mix up and use. Now, making an arrangement.
My notes tell me that it's considered unlucky to bring holly into the house before Christmas Eve. So you don't want to go too early with that.
I'll leave that to somebody else to decide whether that's actually true or not.
I don't know if you've heard this or not, but it's believed that a holly tree could not be struck by lightning. But I don't think we want to try that out.
No, I don't think we want to test that either.
Okay.
Mostly there's other plants and trees that are higher and taller than that would attract the lightning before the holly would. But I suppose if you go to certain places of the country where those might be the biggest plants, that indeed could be possible.
Bob, we've made it to the 1st of December. I know that from time to time, you and your office like to look ahead at some of the predictions that you receive on the severity of the winter season, which will be upon us. Have you had a chance to take a look at any forecast for the next several months concerning Indiana County and western Pennsylvania?
Actually, the 3-month lead, January, February, March, moisture, there's about we're in the range of 30 to 40% probability that we could have more than normal moisture. And then temperature-wise, we're right on the fence. So there's a 50-50 probability that we can have higher temperatures or lower temperatures.
Well, as I've observed...
What they're predicting.
Yeah, as I've observed watching weather over the past 64 years or so, I think the severity of winter depends on that temperature. Because if you're a degree or two under 32 degrees when you get your precipitation, it's mostly going to be rain, or going to be snow if you're under 32. And if you're a couple of degrees above 32, which we had last winter, most of your precipitation is going to be in the form of rain and non-freezing. So I think that's the key when you look ahead to winter.
Yeah, that's for sure. And, of course, it's pretty hard to predict. We can have one part of the county be under that 32 and another part be over it. And so somebody's getting rain or sleet and the other one's getting snow.
Our guest this morning on Indiana in the Morning, it's Bob Pollock from the Indiana County Extension Office. And today Bob's office is a little bit down south, Winchester, Virginia. What's your weather like down there this morning?
Actually pretty nice. The sun's out at the moment, and there was just a little bit of rain that came through here last night, but not very much. So pretty pleasant.
We have a little bit of fog in some areas, but we're going to see sunshine. Right now we're at about 30 degrees in downtown Indiana, so it's not a bad day. Before we leave, Bob, is there something that we want to make sure that folks know about before we have to say goodbye for another week?
Well, there's on Wednesday, December 6th, actually at our office at 827 Water Street in the first floor conference room, they actually are going to have if there are people that are interested in raising sheep or goats, There will be a meeting that evening, and it'll run from 6 to 9:30. And there's also a light dinner included in that. And that is actually part of, if you want to learn more about raising sheep or goats in southwestern Pennsylvania, they're doing 4 different workshops around southwest PA. One was in Greene County, one was in Washington County, and then this coming week will be in Indiana County, and then there'll be one final one in Somerset County later in December, on December 17th. But they're actually going to do an overview of sheep and goat production practices and really look at what somebody needs to do if they want to get started to raise sheep and goats. There's been a group that has been trying to look forward and what are possible agricultural enterprises that people may want to look at in our region of the state. Just trying to look at that, and there were livestock is one of those things that we've had strength in, and people think we can continue to be strong and have opportunities in that area. So that was why they decided to try and set up and do these meetings around and see if there are people interested, and then help them put together really what they need to have to. Mm-hmm. They're thinking about getting into something like that and what's involved, and then walk through those.
All right. Steps. Okay, Bob, we got to say goodbye for this morning. Have a safe trip back, and we'll talk with you again next Friday here on Indiana in the Morning.
Congratulations to the Homer Center Wildcats on a terrific season to date. You've made us all proud. This is John Ditter, pastor of the Homer City Alliance Church, inviting you to join us for worship at 10 a.m. during the Advent season. We're behind the Wildcats. Bring home the title.
Opening in January 2018, Excella Square at Latrobe is where healthcare takes shape. At our newest facility, you'll find family doctors and specialists along with diagnostic testing, as well as physical, occupational, and speech therapy, free parking, and a community walking trail. The perfect complement to Excella Latrobe Hospital, Excella Square at Latrobe is located off of Route 30 East at 100 Excella Health Drive. Learn more at excellahealth.org, search Square.
Kick off the holiday season with Homer Center's production of Annie, December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Oh, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come on, May.
Oh, poor boy, did they hurt you? They're after you, ain't they? Well, they're after me too, but don't worry, I ain't gonna let them get you or me. I'll take care of you, and everything's gonna be fine, for the both of us. If not today, well,
tomorrow.
Will little orphan Annie find her parents and have a great Christmas? Come to Homer Center's production of Annie to find out.
The musical will be presented in the J.S. Byers Auditorium at the Homer Center High School. Tickets are $5 at the door for general admission or $8 for preferred seating.
You can also get pre-sale preferred seating at the Homer Center High School office beginning Monday, November 6th.
Come kick off the holiday season with the cast and crew of Annie.
Can't wait to see you there.
And the Wildcats